is the latest transfer news. What's the latest on Mikel Merino, the latest on Calafiori, and our goalkeeper situation? We've just made a bid for a new goalkeeper. Yes, another one. But let's first start with the Mikel Merino transfer news. Now, obviously, we know that we want Mikel Merino, but obviously, we'll have to wait for him to finish the Euro campaign with Spain. They're finishing it on, and then after that, he'll probably have a holiday. But we know that we are linked to him, and that I've spoken to him personally. But how much would Real Sociedad want for him? Now, according to reports from Spain, Real Sociedad want 30 million euros, 25 million pounds for Mikel Merino. Arsenal are interested in the 28-year-old. So, for 25 million pounds, I think that's good money. I think that would be a good deal. Now, we've spoken about him in detail in terms of what he is able to do for the team. He can win the aerial duels in midfield, the ground duels in midfield, interceptions in midfield. He can basically help you to suffocate opponents the way Arteta wants. He wants people to suffocate the opponents. He wants 80% possession. He wants the opponents, Odegaard to press them from the front with Saka and Havertz. If they bypass that, they come across Declan Rice and they come across Mikel Merino. That is what Arteta wants. People to absolutely dominate the midfield. Now, the only issue that we have with the Mikel Merino deal would be, is he a direct replacement for Thomas Partey? Because that wouldn't work. Merino is more of a number 8 than a number 6, and Partey is more of a number 6, is going to be able to just sit there. Partey doesn't go forward too many times, Partey is a number 6, just sits there. Same with Jorginho. You'll never really see Jorginho in the box when he's playing as a number 6. But when Rice is playing as a number 6, you'll probably see him in the box a couple of times because he wants to go forward and also do some stuff forward. Rodri at Man City, you'll see him sometimes in the box trying to do stuff. But for me, I prefer just a number 6 who's going to sit in midfield, don't move from there, be the protection for the defense, be the basically the guy to pick up the ball from the defense and your goalkeeper to transition to the front sides. That is what I want my number 6 to do. Just sit there, control the midfield, keep the number 10 quiet. Just do all that in midfield. Now, Partey would do that for you. Jorginho would do that for you in terms of controlling midfield. Those players would do for you. Merino would probably want to move forward a bit, even if you played him as a number 6. If he played Rice the number 6 as well, he'd want to push forward a bit and move to the left side a bit. So, and they can do things up front. So that's the thing. Both of them can do things up front, good things up front. So Merino, if he was a direct replacement for Partey, it would be a no for me. But if Partey was staying and then we're adding Merino, then I'd be like, okay, Rice, Merino, Jorginho, Partey, we have to still pray that Partey doesn't get injured, because if he gets injured again, then we have to move things around again. Either we play Jorginho there for a lot of games consecutively, or we move Rice back to the number 6 and have Merino playing as a number 8. But if Partey stayed fit and you have Merino and you have Rice and you have Jorginho, then you have a very strong midfield, considering ahead of them you have the likes of Odegaard as well, and Smith Rowe stays, and forward line if you had a couple of more players. We've added Calafiori at the back. We've added him. We're about to add Calafiori at the back. In my head, he's already an Arsenal player. So it makes sense. It makes sense for 25 million. I don't think that is a bad fee at all. 25 million. We've seen him playing for Spain. Off the bench, does well. For Sociedad, next to Zubimendi, does very, very well. We've spoken about it already. He won the most deals out of the top 5 European leagues last season. Out of any player, he was number 1 with more than 300. No player had anywhere near 300 in terms of duels won. So he would definitely add something to your team, but not at the expense of Partey, because if you're selling Partey and then bring in Merino, it would mean Jorginho plays a lot of games next season and his age is not on his side, which would mean Rice plays the number 6 more, and I prefer Rice as the number 8, making those interceptions and tackles closer to the goal. When Rice makes a tackle closer to the goal, just one pass and you're in one-on-one situations, or 3 up against 2 defenders, like when he wins it higher up the pitch. If he wins it in the number 6 position, the other team still has a shape going on, and they still have 6-7 players ahead of him, so it's more difficult to create a chance. But if he's in the forward positions and he's winning the ball in the forward positions with Odegaard, that's you're quick in terms of creating chances. So for me, if Partey was leaving and Merino's coming in, I'd still want another midfielder. That's the thing. I'd still want another midfielder. And even if Partey is staying, I'm still about No, I'm not 100% sure because of Partey's injuries. If Partey was fit, man, we'd not have been looking for 2-3 midfielders right now. Partey, Rice, Odegaard, that is your starting midfield, and you have Jorginho on the bench, and you have Merino on the bench, you'd be good to go. But the problem is the Partey injuries. But if you're going to sign Merino after the Euros, it's going to be a 25 million pound deal. Let's see how that one goes. Now, what about Calafiori? What about Riccardo Calafiori? What's the latest on him? Well, according to reports from Di Marzio, Arsenal at the moment are offering 40 million plus bonuses for a total amount of 50 million euros, as well as sell-on percentage for Riccardo Calafiori. Arsenal and Bologna are continuing negotiations with the desire to reach an agreement. Then there is this as well from Di Marzio. Bologna requesting 50 million euros plus bonuses and the inclusion of a sell-on clause in the deal for Riccardo Calafiori. However, Arsenal are so far offering 50 million euros. The player's agent is pressing to find the right compromise between the two clubs. So it's a gap of like 10 million. They're still trying to negotiate it. I guess Arsenal wanted to be like 40 million, maybe plus bonuses, plus add-ons, but Bologna wanted to be 50 million plus add-ons plus euros, so they wanted to be like 55 plus million, and also wanted to be a package of like maybe 42-43 million. So it's going to take time to negotiate. Eventually I think it's going to be an Arsenal player, just like the Declan Rice one. It took a bit of time, but yeah, the fact that no other team is going in for him right now, I'd be very surprised that if it collapsed. I think if it was close to collapsing, Arsenal would be like, okay, whatever, we're just going to pay the money, or they'll try and get another deal to to suit Bologna in terms of convincing them. But as of now, he's still not yet an Arsenal player. Even if he'll sign today, his medical will not happen anytime soon, up until he comes back from his holiday. But obviously, it would be great to get a here we go for Calafiori, so that we finish with that situation. But no other team is coming in for him, as reported here. Riccardo Calafiori picked Arsenal over Chelsea and Leverkusen because of Mikel Arteta, his football ideas, and what he asks of his defenders with and without the ball. Calafiori has given his word to ask Arteta and does not intend to listen to other offers right now. So, can I be honest? Yes, it's frustrating most of the times when you don't get those here we go quicker. But if Arsenal paying 40 million, the difference of Arsenal paying 40 million and 55 million, for example, is a difference of 4 or 5 extra days, I don't mind it. If it means like if we bought a player on July 1st and we paid 60 million and you could wait until July 12th and we pay 40 million, I'd be happy to wait, because that money can help Arsenal also in terms of buying other players. I don't mind. As long as there's no other team that comes in for him, no problem. I know that what is annoying people is the fact that you haven't bought anyone yet. If you had bought a striker already, then many people would have been maybe more calm and confident that you're going to get Riccardo Calafiori and more patient. But the fact that you haven't announced anyone yet, that's what is bothering people. Now, for me, I still believe you're going to sign at least 3 players this month. It could happen back-to-back days. Doesn't mean that you on 12th July you're not going to sign anyone. No, we are going to sign players. For me, I'm a little bit more patient. I know most of you are like, what the hell are we doing? We should sign him. Any team can come in for him. There's obviously a 5% risk that would happen. It can be like, why is this not happening? And Bayern Munich come in from elsewhere. Things can happen. Another team can pick up an injury to their left back, and they're like, oh, Calafiori has not been bought yet, let's go in for him. So those things can possibly happen. But as of now, there's still a gap in terms of the talks between Arsenal and Bologna. So let's wait and see what happens with that. Let's see if you're going to get to that 50 million euros. And then the fact that Bologna is also including a sell-on clause, maybe that is not what Arsenal wants. Maybe that is not what Arsenal wants to include in the deal. So I still feel like that would be too much, including bonuses and add-ons and 50 million euros plus sell-on clause. I still feel that is too much. But the defender is a really good defender. He has a promising future. If he was sold 2 years from now, it'd be 80 million or something. I was actually surprised Bologna were willing to do a deal for 42 million pounds. That is quite low, even though he's just showed himself for like 1-2 seasons. I still believe he has a very good future. In terms of defenders, you don't get defenders like that who can play left back and left center back and, good on the ball and can drive with the ball and can make tackles and can make interceptions and can create chances and score goals and assist. You don't get defenders who can do that, all of that combined. It's not easy to get those kind of defenders. So let's see what happens with the Calafiori deal this weekend. But next up, let's talk about goalkeepers. Now, we have made an official bid for Ajax Tommy Setford. Arsenal have made a 350,000 bid for Ajax Tommy Setford. This is according to Mike. Very good in terms of Ajax news. So this would be the third choice goalkeeper. So we've been told. Let's get to this. We've been told that if Ramsdale does leave, Juan Garcia is going to be the goalkeeper to come in to Arsenal. He has a buyout clause of 15 million euros, but Espanyol's promotion meant that rose to 25 million euros. So if you want a second choice goalkeeper and it's going to be Juan Garcia, that is going to cost us 25 million euros. So if Ramsdale does leave, this will be our second choice goalkeeper if we buy him. So at the moment, we are looking to sort out our third choice goalkeeper situation. We'll be linked to Dan Bentley from Wolves. We'll be linked to Setford from Ajax. We've actually made the bid for both of them, and looks like we're going to get at least one of them. So hopefully, if we do sign these goalkeepers this month, that is it for our goalkeeper situation. You're not going to hear about it in January again or next season again, because over the last 5-6 years, there's been a lot of goalkeeper movements from even from the Wenger days, right? I think Leno replaced Czech or something. Czech started the season and then Leno replaced him after like 3 games. We've seen the same thing happen between Roy and Ramsdale. I think you've seen the same thing happen between Ramsdale and Leno. And then there was Turner, there was Matt Ryan, there was, Okonkwo's just left. Karl Hein is still part of the team. Speaking of Karl Hein as well, what is happening to him? He just signed a new contract. So if you're going to have 3 goalkeepers, where does he fit in? Karl Hein was persuaded to sign a new contract at Arsenal this summer, but the stipulation of that agreement was that the club would try to source him a good loan with regular first team football. So exactly what we thought was going to happen, because we were looking for other goalkeepers. Looks like Karl Hein will go out on loan. So he's a new goalkeeper that we've made a bid for. According to Fabrizio Romano, exclusive, Arsenal submit first proposal to Ajax for 18-year-old goalkeeper Tommy Setford. Negotiations ongoing. Ajax sources see Setford as big talent, but current deal expires in June 2025. England under 20 goalkeeper keen on the move. So the goalkeeper wants to join Arsenal. He would be a third choice goalkeeper. He's not going to be a second choice goalkeeper or anything unless we fail to sign a second choice goalkeeper. Ramsdale does end up leaving and then we don't sign anyone. But I think we're going to have another second choice goalkeeper, either Ramsdale or Garcia, because the reports are still if Ramsdale does leave or all that. So we're not being told that when Ramsdale leaves, this is going to be a second choice goalkeeper. It's a matter of if he does leave. So Tommy Setford will be a third choice goalkeeper. He's actually played with an Arsenal player over at England, Nwaneri. So they know each other. Maybe he's convinced him to join Arsenal. He's definitely not going to come and be first choice or second choice, anything like that. And I can't lie to you. Obviously, lots of people do not know much about Tommy Setford. But hopefully when he comes in, he could bring something to the team. You definitely bring the thing of having certain number of England players. That's why you're trying to look for a third choice England goalkeeper, especially if Ramsdale does leave. We are trying to look for, an English goalkeeper to fill that. I think you need to have like 4 or 5 these days. I don't know how many exact England players you need to have in the team, or homegrown players, not necessarily England international, but homegrown players, people who stayed there for a certain number of years and all that. So Tommy Setford would fit that bill, and he'd be cheap, 350,000. I've never seen anything like this. You're making bids for 50,000, 350,000, but I guess that's what happens with touches goalkeepers. It's either you bring them from the academy or you get them for free from elsewhere, or, stuff like that. You don't really spend 10 million on your touches goalkeeper unless you're absolutely crazy and you want a 50 million first choice goalkeeper, 50 million second choice goalkeeper, and a 30 million touches goalkeeper. That is not going to happen. But Tommy Setford, we've made a bid for him, according to Mike and also Fabrizio Romano. His current deal expires next year. Let's see how that one develops. There's definitely a lot of situation with the goalkeepers, so let's just finalize it. If Ramsdale does leave, Juan Garcia is going to be bought from Espanyol to be a second choice goalkeeper. But will Ramsdale leave? We don't know. There's no offers that have been tabled yet. Karl Hein did sign a new contract. I was imagining maybe could he end up being our second choice goalkeeper, because if Ramsdale leaves and you're talking about signing a third choice goalkeeper, but doesn't look like it, I think it's a matter of let's get him to sign a new contract, take him out on loan, and then if he does well over the next couple of years, we can sell him for a significant amount of money. Ramsdale, we have to wait and see which team gets to him or tries to buy him. And then for Ray, he already signed permanently for Arsenal, so that will be our first choice goalkeeper. So we wait for Tommy Setford and Dan Bentley. I think the fact that we've gone to Tommy Setford maybe means that Arsenal are not going to sign Dan Bentley because they want a lot of money. Wolves, they wanted something like 1 million and you're offering 50,000. That's a long gap. That is like they want 100 million and you're offering 5 million. That's almost the same. So it doesn't work out like that at all. But I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you make of all that. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.